Everyone, welcome to EOCT review for microeconomics. First thing I want you to do is pause the video and draw your version of a circular flow diagram on your review sheet or on the back or on a sheet of paper. So take a moment, pause the video, draw and label everything that you can remember. No peeking on anything else. Okay, hopefully you drew something that looks like this. Now, notice households and businesses are switched on this diagram from what we usually do. So you need to follow your arrows and make sure that they look like what you want. Okay. The first thing I always do when I find one of these is if you have it on an EOCT, you should label it if it's not already labeled. So I find my household and I find my product market. You probably put household here and product market up here, and that's totally fine. Households take money to the product market and they get goods and services in return. So once I find money, it's going to flow in the same direction all the way around my circular flow. Okay, so money's going to flow out of households, goods and services are going to flow in. In the meantime, what households provide are things to the factor market. The way households get money is by selling their resources. That could be renting land that they own. It could be giving loans for capital equipment. It could be being an entrepreneur. But most commonly for us, it's going to be labor. So you're going to sell your labor in exchange for money to businesses. One of the other important things to notice about circular flow is that everyone in the circular flow, households and businesses, are demanders and suppliers. Businesses demand goods from the factor market and supply goods to the product market, while households demand goods from the product market and supply goods to the factor market. The final thing you should notice here is that almost every question is going to pass through a market. So if it said, what shows the flow of goods and services from businesses to households, you're going to pass through the product market. So watch that carefully, and typically any question that you have is going to flow through a market. So identify the market it would flow through. Is this helping you make the product, or is this where you purchase the product and where the product is provided? On your review sheet, you'll see what happens when a business hires a worker. That is a transaction in which market? Hopefully you said factor market. What happens when a consumer buys a haircut? That's purchasing a service, and that is in the product market. All right. The role of money. So looking at your review sheet here, the role of money as a medium of exchange and how it facilitates exchange. For one thing, money is easier than what traditional economies do, because traditional economies, you barter one good for another. So if you have a person who wants a good A, and the other person has good B, you have to do a lot of trades to be able to find a situation where these two can trade carefully. With money, you just give him money for the good that he possesses or for the good that you possess, and then you can spend that money on anyone in the marketplace. So it's easier to use money to trade goods that either party may not, than to trade goods that either party may not want. The three functions of money: they are a medium of exchange, we trade it for stuff; a store of value, it retains value over time, unlike, say, PlayStation 3, which of course clearly loses its value when something new replaces it. And it's a unit of account, so it's a way that we can measure the value of something in a way that's fair across, showing what the market values it at. Even if it's not something you want, you can see that the market sees it's valuable or not valuable.